જય હાટકેશ. આપણા વિસનગર નાગર મંડળ જે મુંબઈમાં છે એમાં we are running a series of young achievers અને આજની આપણી guest છે નિયતિ કોઠારી પંડિત. વેલકમ નિયતિ to this program.
Thank you so much.
અને જય હાટકેશ ને જય જિનેન્દ્ર.
જય હાટકેશ, જય જિનેન્દ્ર.
ઓકે, નિયતિ, તમે મિત્રો તમે જોયું હશે, નિયતિ કોઠારી પંડિત is married into a community. She's done her CA, she's done her BCom, and she's also done her MCom. And currently she's working with one of the top global consultancy firm. Niyati, I was looking at your CV and I found something very interesting. And it said that you actually wanted to do something else in your career, but you ended up doing
Yes.
CA. So can we start with that episodes or that events that happened in your early part of life?
Yeah, it's a very common incident. I think many of our youngsters would be facing, while selecting what they want to do, in terms of what they like and vis-a-vis what is the opportunity lying in front of them. So yeah, I wanted to be a little creative. I wanted to go on the architect side, or I was interested in cooking, become a chef. But things did not pan out, and my dad, my father was very adamant that I should do something which is much more reliable, like a CA profession. So that's what I went with him.
So from a young
I
age you were listening to your father and he advised you to do CA, is it? And you took it up.
Right times I need to listen to him. So at right points in time I've heard him. So I followed that. And yes, it's been fruitful. It's not I do not regret that decision. I'm happy with what I'm doing, with the opportunities that I've got later on. Yes, but the hobbies still lie. So hopefully in future I can do both. That should be the aim.
So with your busy schedule, do you get time to cook? Because you said that you gave up something on, you wanted to be a chef or you wanted to be an architect. So do you find time to cook, and how well do you cook?
I don't know how well do you cook, and maybe people around me can vouch for that. But I think I cook what I like, actually. Mm-hmm. And I do find time. I do try and find time and experiment things now with my daughter as well. So yeah, I like calling people over, experimenting on them, and on them, yes, with some new dishes and trying the outcome. But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I do cook myself every day, but I definitely try once in a while some new things and keep learning there. Yeah, I do love that.
So you did your CA, you did your entrance, and you got a rank, and your rank was all India and also all Maharashtra. So there must be a very special moment when you took a major decision and wrote your exam. And I know first time it appears you flunked in your entrance to CA, and second time you worked hard and you got a rank. And so can you tell us about that experience when you flunked first time and the second time when you got an award?
Yes, so it's interesting again for me at least, because when I flunked the first time, and I was like, that was the first time I actually faced failure. I mean, failing, being fairly good at academics, and all of a sudden when you fail, that experience doesn't sink in so easily. So I had a tough time that time. I thought that this, again, CA is not for me. I need to do something else. Again, I went to the university, found out courses which I can do. Again, on the creative side, I looked at advertising courses, I looked at travel courses, I looked at many options. And I didn't eat for 3 days. I remember my parents were not around when my results were out. So I was roaming around the university with my sister. But I think a moment came when, it was the last day of submitting the admission forms, and my father was like, have you done it? I said, no, I don't want to. I don't think I'm fit for, if I can't clear the entrance, I don't think I can be a chartered accountant for sure. And, but no, he said, just give it. At least, you should not feel that you cannot do anything. Then you can choose your career path, whatever you want to or you wish to at that point in time. So on the last day, after crying, I submitted my application form. Frankly, I didn't study much. I didn't study hard. Whatever I had studied was there with me. I refreshed. But I think the change in attitude, the change in outlook helped me get that rank. It was not about spending more hours with the books. I think the change in attitude and the change in confidence that my dad gave me, that helped me to get that position. And then, yeah, then I think I can
Yeah.
do
So,
it.
so tell me about the
Yeah.
experience. I'm sure there is a ceremony at the institute where they give you this award
Yes,
because you are the
yes.
first lady. You are the number one lady candidate for Maharashtra. So, can you share the emotional aspect of that award ceremony?
Yes, it was very emotional. My sister and my mom had come with me, and I've never got any award in life. In school, I was pretty much okay student. I had never received anything, and I think that was a proud moment for my parents more than me. And I know still that small frame, it's still lying on my shelf in my parents' house, so in my room. So they still feel proud about it after so many years, after almost 18 years, 19 years. So yes,
So, so
so yes, that always stays.
yeah. So after your CA, you decided to join international firm and you worked there for almost 10 to 11 years. For obvious reasons,
Yes,
will not take the name of the firms that you worked. But going from you have a family background which is not professional as per your CV,
yes,
as in
yes,
that there are no professionals in the family. You were the first
yes.
person who decided to join a profession. And then you decided to join an internationally known accounting and a consulting firm. Tell me about the shift that you had to bring. You said your attitude helped you to pass your exam the second time with a rank. Was there again a shift required in your approach and your attitude in working with an international name like what you chose and worked there for 11 years and grew there?
Yeah. Yes. So I had done my articleship with a very small, mid-size, small firm, doing taxation and things like that. And I completed my CA. Yes, you're right in terms of family background. My dad is a businessman. My sisters are engineers. They pursued their professional careers, but now they're all doing very different things and very creative things. So I'm the only one who stuck to the profession I chose. Um, Yes, in terms of when I joined the consulting firm, it was a change. It was a big change going from a small size firm to, a corporate international organization. And I think each day was an experience. Each day was an enriching experience. I know how I was on day one and how I was on day 500, and so and so forth. I think I could just see the growth myself in as a personal, as a human being, as a professional. It definitely helped me
So
grow.
if you had to give a suggestion or an advice, if I could use that word, to young people in our community who wish to take up professional career, like a chartered accountant or somebody else, what would be
Yeah.
that one thing that you would say that you learned because of the switch that you took in your career from a small firm to a large firm, and then of course you grew to another large firm, which we'll talk about later.
Yes. I think I think it's very important to embrace challenges. Don't fear. Uh, so I'm also, I fear change a lot myself. But I've just seen the better side each time I faced it. So even today, I have gone through a change in the career path within my service line. I've tried to do things differently. So obviously, so every day is a change, even I think to the next level, to the each day for every human being, even if he's at the most top level, every day is a challenge. And that growth and that learning should not stop. I think in the mind, you need to keep learning, you need to be open to learn. Only then you will be able to embrace that challenge and succeed. I think you
Yeah.
should not
So,
fear the learning.
so you are really
That is a
wedded.
message I would
Yeah.
give.
Yeah. So you're really wedded to the statement that only thing constant is change, and you should embrace the change that happens every day. Is
Yes,
that?
I know it's difficult. It's difficult. It's not easy, but that's the way of life. Be it in any profession, in person or professional life, I think change. We are constantly faced by changes around us. See the situation around us right now,
Yeah.
the COVID.
COVID is teaching us so
So
many things. Yeah.
yes, so we all reflect on our lives every day. Yes.
And now you are a director again in a large global globally recognized consultancy firm, and you do a lot of consultancy work. Now, in this consultancy work, as per your CV, you have to do a lot of international travel, and you interact with a cross section of people. So, so tell me about the experience that you have dealing with the cross section of people from across the globe, if that is the right way of putting it.
Yes. So I have, from the beginning in my earlier firm, also done a lot of international assignments. I think when I did that time, it was a very different experience because that was the first time which I traveled internationally. I met new different kinds of people. I was not the one who used to travel. I was a very introvert. I was a very I was a person who would want to be in that safe zone all the time.
Comfort zone all
So
the time. Yeah.
comfort zone, safe, yeah. And
Mm.
that I started my travel that time, and I think it changed my personality a lot. It helped me connect to different kinds of cultures that travel. Initially I was even scared to travel from Parla to Churchgate, going to the income taxes offices and all of that, and to travel alone for engagements up to Brazil and other countries. It was a very enriching experience. Yes, there are challenges when you interact with all of them, but it's always again a learning from different cultures, and that is also a very important thing one should have. And if you get the opportunity, should not miss it. Definitely.
So you should grab every opportunity that comes your way, or even create an opportunity if you like. Not only grab it, create one.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. So
That
in
goes
your
without.
CV again, you have mentioned that you developed something in your product line which has been internationally acclaimed in the organization that you're working. So now we don't want to talk about the product that you have developed, but the process that helped you develop
Yeah.
that and we make it acceptable and to be implemented across the globe in the organization that you're working.
So again, I wouldn't take the credit of that. It was a joint team. It was an innovative thing that we all worked on. Again, it was a challenge we were facing day to day life, and in our engagements. And we thought that why not we solve it for us, and then maybe it can be a solution to the market as well. So we worked on that, and it was quite challenging to build. I'm not a tech guy, a tech person, or have that knowledge. But yes, we made a group, and the thought process again, creating something, it's always challenging and it's always interesting. When you create something of your own, it's a very different experience altogether, and we are all very happy and proud as a team to have built that. But you can call it your own. It's a lovely feeling.
So there was a lot of thinking and a lot of vision that went into
Yes,
developing that.
lot of
And
thinking, lot of challenging, lot of late nights, lot of trial errors,
coming to
etc.
coming to late nights, so you are a director and obviously you have a lot of people working under you. I also know that
Yes.
there are not many few lady directors in your organization which employs maybe 25-30,000 people. Would that be a right statement?
Yes, as you grow up, I think the women quotient is little lesser, but yes, but it's changing. Hopefully it will change more, and there will be a balance soon. Yes, it is a challenging environment to work on, especially the consulting world. Personally, where you are not only facing internal challenges, you have to meet client commitments, you have to do multiple geography, sometimes you have to do multiple engagement types sometimes. So having that pressure, it's not, and handling that, it's not very easy,
Yeah.
and it's definitely challenging, especially for women with the other responsibilities in life. uh, so not so hope situation arises, hope that
Yeah.
happens
Something,
everywhere.
something must be, something very interesting must be happening, or very challenging that must be happening. Since you do consulting, you would be sort of advising a board of a large company where there are a lot of gray hair on the table, and therefore age would not be to your side. One, to the other side, the gray hair would have a lot of experience with them, and they would be knowing their subject. So they would be
Yes.
subject domain experts. In that situation, as a young professional, how do you sell yourself and how do you sail through? Uh, and how would you advise youngsters? How would you advise youngsters? How would you advise them? 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 How would you advise to be able to have that confidence, that attitude, that approach, that whatever you have, that zeal, whatever works for you, how do you go about handling that?
I think that's a very good question, and I think you've nailed it in terms of for asking it, and thank you for asking it. But yes, there are many. I mean, I have the opportunity, first of all, to meet such people through the work that I do and learn a lot from them. So it's very fortunate to be presenting to boards, to committees, where they sit and kind of present your work that you have done. First of all, that itself is a great opportunity, and and I thank my job for that, because it's not easy for a person of this level, or my experience also, and I have started this doing it long back actually. So having such a with this limited experience, stand in front of such experienced gentlemen and women, such dignitaries in their own field, and to explain them and take them through what you have done and get challenged and get
I want
question
to,
and answer.
since I don't,
So
excuse me, since we can't take names, but just take an example. I mean, since you like the question, I want to dwell in it a little. I want to dive in a little more. You're sitting in a room, in a boardroom. Half the people are in gray hair, and there will be at least 2, 3 names where the whole India knows. Would that be a right statement to me? So
of course,
anybody in the country would know that name. We don't want to take those names, but we are asking, and the
yes, they are
organization that
all, they are in the papers, they are on the
known for,
channels.
they are
So
known for their work.
yes,
They are not known, they
they
are
are,
not page 3
yes,
people.
and fortunately, no, and fortunately I work for the financial services, so it's the cream of all, and you see them in your papers, and you see them in boards giving articles, or in channels giving interviews. Yes,
Respected,
it's,
respected
yes,
gentlemen in their own profession, respected for what they say. Their every word counts. These are the type of people that you get a chance. So what goes in your mind when you make a presentation to them?
so
Yeah.
one is from my side. I think the content, the confidence in the content you're presenting is very important, right? So you have to be very thorough about what you're presenting, or what uh, about the subject you're talking about. uh, that's important. See, if you know something thoroughly, I don't think so it should stop you for even putting your statement or putting your view forward. Not necessary every time you are completely right. That's fair. It's a view at the end of the day, so long as it's logical, I ensure that, hopefully. But obviously you hear the opposite person, right? You hear them, you put your point, and I don't think so. With my given whatever I've done, I think now I'm trying to cross that barrier. I am much more confident in talking or presenting, and presenting my views. But yes, confidence, knowing the content is important. And yes, we hear them, logically argue, with respect, with due respect. But yes, but it's challenging, but I enjoy that process thoroughly. I think that very very 15-20 minutes that you get in front of them, that's the end product you crave for the months of effort that you put in, right? So it's a 15 minutes that you need to show what you've done in the last few months, or the whole year, or whatever. So how you put it in that time frame is
Is the key.
something that a lot of thought goes. And
So two
yes,
C's are very important: content and confidence.
confidence,
Yeah,
yeah.
very important. So, youngsters, if you're listening to this, young achievers for whom we are making this program, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure you are, please take note from an experienced person like Neeyati, who's presenting to the boards whose names we cannot take, but large boards, very senior boards, and two things that take her, make her sail, and her in months and years, months and months of work has to be reflected in 15 minutes. So the content plays a very important role. So always concentrate on the content if you want to make a success of whatever you have chosen to do. Would that be a correct way of putting what you're
Yes,
trying to
yes.
say?
You're
Yeah.
summarizing the outcome.
Yeah.
You might have put a 100-page report, but you get 15 minutes to talk
Correct.
about. So
True.
how do you put that 100-page report into that 15 minutes,
And
and give the
convince the
right
other guy.
messages, and give the right messages you want to, in the right way? as well,
very important.
because
So,
yeah.
So obviously you have a very busy schedule. I know you have a very busy schedule, and you have a lot of people working under you. Can you broadly tell me your day? When does it start? When does it end? And how many nights you are awake up to what time? Why I want this? I'm not getting into a personal question, but why I want to bring this out is any youngster here again who thinks that it's all that what sacrifice, if you can use the word, or what effort are required to reach where you are required. Maybe you can take a typical day.
Yeah. No, I hear you. See, nothing comes. You have to give something to get something, right? So that is, it's given. So whether you want good marks and stand first in your professional exam, you have to give up all your enjoyment with friends, etc. So it's the same thing. My typical day would be getting up by 5:30, 5 sometimes. If I have to work, typically say I have a daughter right now, so evenings, late evenings are for her. So I tend to grab early mornings for my mails or for my critical work that I need to focus on, because that's my time where I can completely concentrate. And given with the work from home scenario now, it becomes more imperative. And yes, I have my day-to-day chores to finish before I sit to work. So by 9:30 or sometimes 9, I'm on my seat. And yes, then I have my whole day on calls, on
How many calls? How many Zoom
for
calls in a day?
meetings. It's non-stop. I don't think so. Given this current scenario, I don't think a minute is without a call,
My God.
because I'm either talking with the team, or I'm talking with my seniors, or I'm talking with the clients
And
because
or
of
you're
the current
talking with your
situation.
daughter who's at home all the time, and she's part
She's
and
always
parcel
there.
of your meetings. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
True,
yes,
true.
yes. It's a tougher day, and I'm sure it's a tough time for all of us right now. The days are just getting longer. But yes, yes, it's I wind up, I reach home by 8:30 normally, when not a COVID time, and then spend time with my daughter, again log in at night after she goes to sleep, and then again in the morning. So that's a routine. So it there is hard work for sure. There is less of me time. But yes, I think if one wants to achieve something, that sacrifice is imperative. I think you can't get away from that. And I
And
wouldn't
you
say sacrifice. Maybe sacrifice is not the right word. It's part and parcel of the goal that you want to achieve.
and you
So
have the
it's a
will to do it.
requirement.
So you once you have the will, you can
Yes.
find a way to do it.
Yeah. Sacrifice. I wouldn't. Sacrifice is not always the right word. I think it is imperative. It is important, and it is part and parcel of if you have that goal to achieve.
Yeah. So
That
we are Niyati,
I
we
would
are
put it that way.
right. Near we are
Yeah.
coming to almost the end of the time that we
Yes.
had slotted for ourselves. If you were to give a message, as you give to the boards that you work that you present, what is that short message that you would want to give to the youngster? And before I wind up, before I say that, as our friends would realize that Niyati is married into her community, we are very happy that she is part of our community and we are talking to her. As her name suggests, she is Neeyati Kothari Pandit. Welcome to this community, Neeyati. I'm sure the community is very happy you being a
I'm
young
happy to.
achiever. Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
Yes, the message that I would like to give all is just follow your dream. I think especially all the girls out there, I think you should not be worried about, not being successful or not achieving or not reaching where you want to be always because of your other commitments, because of our social pressures, etc. I'm sure times are changing. And if one wants and one has a wish, we can definitely make it, and we can definitely make our family, our people, and ourselves proud, and leave a legacy behind for a family. So I want to be, I want my daughter to, when she grows up, she should aspire to do something better than me. That's what I would wish for her. And yes, it's always good and happy to follow your heart, so always do that. And yes, things will not come easy, but nothing is impossible. Yeah.
Nothing is impossible. Yeah, thank
That's
you very much, Neeyati. It was absolute pleasure talking to you. If I have to quickly wrap up what you said, the two C's are very important, as we said earlier: content and confidence, willpower to do something, ready to work hard, ready to accept change all the time. Maybe the third C should be the change that we should add there, and ready to embrace change
yes.
as it comes every time, and follow your dreams, and also leave something as a legacy for your children so that they are able to sort of emulate from you and do something better and brighter than what one has done as a
Yes,
family.
always.
Thank you very much, Niyati, for talking to us. I'm sure all
Thank
youngsters
you
will
so
enjoy
much.
watching this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of something so nice and so progressive. So,
Thank you.
thank you.